Hello everyone. This video presents a notable event that happened on each day from the past week in history. On September 29th, 1714, Cossacks from the Russian Empire slaughtered 800 Finns during the Russian invasion of Finland, then part of the Swedish Empire, known as the Great Wrath. Russia has long had a rowdy relationship with their neighbors, Finland and Sweden, and this time the Russians had the upper hand, defeating Sweden in battles leading up to the massacre. During 1714, Russia managed to occupy virtually all of Finland until the end of the Great Northern War, which finally ended by a treaty in 1721. The occupation of Finland was characterized by partisan attacks against the Russians and Russian retaliation in the form of rape, pillaging, and crushing taxes. Thousands of Finns died and as many as 30,000 Finns were taken as slaves. Incredibly, Swedish Count Gustav Otto Douglas ran the occupation for the Russians from 1714 to 1717. On September 30th, 1947, the fall classic of the great American pastime kicked off, the 1947 MLB championship known as the World Series. The teams competing were the Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Yankees, a crosstown series that might have left the rest of the country without a horse in the race, so to speak. The 1947 series went all 7 games, with the Yankees winning the championship, but that was not the historic part. The series was notable for some major firsts for a World Series, including being the first to be televised, the first to feature an African-American player, the first to rake in $2 million at the gate plus TV and radio rights, the first to feature 6 umpires on the field, and the first to feature a pinch-hit home run. As a question for my students and subscribers, which World Series do you think was the greatest? Please let us know in the comments for this video. On October 1st, 1982, Disney's latest and greatest attraction opened at their Orlando, Florida Walt Disney World location, Epcot Center, now known as Epcot. An acronym, the name stands for Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow, intended to showcase technology and the latest in modern inventions and developments, a sort of permanent World's Fair. Double the size of the original Walt Disney World Magic Kingdom, Epcot sprawls across over 300 acres. The park gets plenty of visitors, close to 12.4 million per year, ranking 4th in North American theme parks and 7th in the world. Some of the themed areas of the park include World Celebration, World Discovery, World Nature, and World Showcase. The park has undergone several updates and will probably continue to do so. Have you been to a Disney park? Did you enjoy it? On October 2nd, 2023, Americans celebrate National Name Your Car Day. A tradition since before the 1990 inaugural holiday for naming cars, one poll indicates about 40% of Americans name their car. We name our children, pets, boats, and sometimes homes or even body parts, but cars have a special place in the hearts of Americans. Sometimes a love-hate relationship, at least according to Adam Sandler. Female names account for a majority of car names, although some famous ones had male names such as the General Lee, Herbie, and Kit, all from TV or movies. You can pick an aggressive name, a derogatory name, a cuddly name, or a lover's name for your ride, and some websites even offer to help you make a choice. We say do not name your car after a lover. You might not want to dump your car when you get dumped. Have you named your car? If not, please tell us about your car and we may recommend a name. On October 3rd, 1986, Vince DiMaggio died, the eldest of the 3 DiMaggio brothers of Major League Baseball, the others being Dom and the most famous Joltin' Joe. Joe DiMaggio is of course one of the all-time greats, while Dom was pretty good, making 7 All-Star teams, while Vince was more average. All 3 played center field. Are these brothers the best in baseball history? We list a few other brother sets for you to pick from out of the 275 sets of brothers in MLB history. Paul and Lloyd Wainer, the second pair of brothers elected into the Hall of Fame with over 5,600 hits between them. Phil and Joe Niekro, both pitchers, with an astounding 539 wins between them. And Gaylord and Jim Perry, both pitchers, with 529 wins between them. As several Hall of Fame inductees have brothers that played MLB, who would you add to this list? On October 4th, 1993, Russian army tanks bombarded the Russian parliament, incredibly in the capital of the second most powerful country on Earth. The main question that arises from this cautionary tale is, could it happen here? In 1989, Beijing, China was the site of another tanks versus protesters battle in what we call the Tiananmen Square Massacre. China was the third most powerful country and is currently the second most powerful economic powerhouse on Earth. Could such a scenario happen again? In 2023, a column of mercenary tanks of the Wagner Group were heading to Moscow, again threatening the Russian capital. In January of 2021, some claim that the U.S. teetered on the brink of an attempted coup, which of course would have elicited a military response. Scary stuff indeed. As a question for my students and subscribers, will you see tanks in Washington, D.C. in your lifetime? On October 5th, 1962, moviegoers were introduced to the suave and debonair, handsome, worldly, yet deadly spy character James Bond. This first Bond movie was Dr. No, and featured Sean Connery in the role of Bond. Boasting 25 films, there really is no serious competition as the greatest movie spy. But who is number 2? We list a few possible choices for you to choose from in the order we would rank them. Jack Ryan, CIA, star of 5 major films and a prime television series. Ethan Hunt, Impossible Mission Force, star of 7 movies and based on the 1966 to 1973 TV show in which Jim Phelps was the main man. Jason Bourne, U.S. Foreign Service, CIA, only 5 films, but good ones. Nikita, French DGSE, 4 films and 2 TV series, a woman worthy of any of the male spies listed here. Who is your favorite film spy? As a question for my students and subscribers, which event from this past week in history would you most like to learn more about? Please let me know in the comment section below this video. If you liked this video and would like to receive notification of new videos, please feel welcome to subscribe to History and Headlines and become one of our patrons. Your viewership is much appreciated. For image, audio, and other credits and attributions for components of the individual videos in this compilation, please see the descriptions of their respective videos, which are linked to in this video's description.